Greetings, fellow adventurers, and welcome to Hazards and Hijinks, the interactive fantasy tabletop role-playing improv comedy show. We're back! Oh, did you miss us? Because we definitely missed you. We took a much longer friendship feast than we intended to, but we are packed full of stuffing and turkey bits, and we are ready to get the show back on track. And wow, do we have an adventure for you. Now, we've been playing with a couple different mechanics and doing a couple different things in our hiatus, and this week we actually didn't send a challenge to you because we sent one last week, and last week the audience picked Umber Hulks. So that's what we're going to be confronting today, Umber Hulks. And as we've been saying all over our social medias tonight, we are workshopping a new mechanic. So what we are doing is we got these handy dandy little quest cards here. And for every, let's say $4 donated, we will throw a plot twist at our characters, and I will grab one of these random cards and read off what happens. So anything can happen, any level of chaos can ensue. You get to contribute to the show even more than you used to. And if you like this mechanic, we'll keep incorporating it. And if you don't like this mechanic, we're going to incorporate it regardless because we like it. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's get down to business. My favorite part of the show, where I get to introduce our players for this evening. Now, if this is your first time watching, please like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. We got social medias, we got Patreons, and we would love to have you be part of that. You know who would really love to have you be part of that? Everyone's favorite Daniel Ryan Romero as Fizzlewig the Fabulous.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, that tracks. That's where I'd put that. All right, up next we have everyone's favorite evergreen. Put your hands together for Holly Scott as Jayne Goodfields, the human warlock.
She's back, baby. Only this time she's like a Kindle. All that information, but no more book.
Oh, that's right. For those who haven't been following along, Jayne actually incorporated her evil Eldritch book into her, growing more powerful and actually aging 2 years for the first time in nearly a millennia. So that's pretty impressive. We now have to deal with another teenager on the team. Speaking of someone who has to deal with teenagers, everyone's favorite choir director, put your hands together for Willow Segal as Bubbles Wrathknit, the Orc Berserker. You're muted. You muted yourself.
I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Bubbles. It's okay. You've had a rough go of it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, get yourself some coffee liqueur and let's get this adventure started. Now that we have our players assembled, we are ready to get the show started. And let's start the way we always do, with a hearty huzzah. And feel free to join if you would like to. 3, 2, 1, huzzah! Huzzah! All right, we are going to start with Jayne. Jayne, you had a premonition last night. You've been in somewhat of a state of confusion. Your body's changing, your mind's changing, your world is changing, everything about you is changing, and you, without the book's guidance but also like a sense of self-assurance and reliance, you've been interpreting your dreams by yourself. And last night you had a dream where you walked into the fields just outside of Oakvale to await some type of amazing, exciting premonition. And as you step out into the field, slightly unsure of what's going to happen, we got our first donation, our first plot twist of the night. So I'm going to read it off. A group of malformed orcs, very thin and hungry looking, step out of the cornfield. A group of cannibals offers to guide you through the forest. They have one condition. What is that condition? And do they eat people under and do they only eat people under special circumstances? So, which of those questions would you like to answer?
Wait, so are the orcs the cannibals?
Yeah, the orcs are the cannibals.
So orc cannibals that only eat people under one condition?
Yep.
And I get to choose the condition?
You get to choose the condition. No, they said they'll help you, they'll guide you. So they step out and they said, we felt you in the dreams. We're going to guide you to the forest, but we have one condition. You get to decide what that condition is, or you can decide what the one condition that they eat people is under.
Got it. I think they eat people. I'll take that one. The condition that they eat people is if they are wearing the color purple.
Okay, if they are wearing the color purple.
Kind of like a bull sees red and goes into rage. Well, these orcs see like royal purple and they go into like purple rage.
Yeah,
purple
rage, they're the
purple
purple rage orcs. So that makes the purple rage orcs. I love it. Yeah, their leader is named Prince. And he's like, hello. I saw you in the dreams, and now I will lead you to the forest. Come with me, child. But wear no purple upon your body, or my friends will rip you limb from limb.
Jayne has experienced something that she's never experienced before in her life. A deep attraction for sexy things, and Prince is a very sexy man, orc.
Yes, he is. He's slender and small, but goddamn.
Just oozing with sex. And so Jayne is just like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Very well, come, child. And he takes you by the hand, jumps on a motorcycle. All of the other orcs jump on motorcycles too, and they begin driving through the field, knocking over corn and wheat and running over pumpkins and stuff. They're a bad bunch of guys. But they take you deep in the forest. And Prince goes, now, dig, if you will, this courtyard.
I dig. What am I digging?
An ocean of violets. They will bloom. The animals will strike curious poses, but for you, dream child, enter into this forest alone. Touch, if you will, my stomach. And he takes your hand and he puts it on his rock-hard abdomens. Feel how it trembles inside. Only your eldritch powers can free us of this affliction. Go and do this, dream child.
I'll go. I'll go. You know, I'll go. Let me go. I'll go. I got this.
Go.
I'll be right back. Just like, hang out or whatever. Don't hurt yourself or whatever. I got this.
I will give you this bit of advice.
Yeah.
Be not like your father, too bold.
Do you know my father?
Once. And then he disappears in mist. All right, Jayne, you can smell violets blooming as you slowly walk into this meadow surrounded by thick forested trees. True to Prince's word, animals do strike curious poses, their heads tilted as they pass through the tree line. You feel an energy kind of pulsing and pulling you to the center of this grove. What do?
I go. That's what I do.
You go. Okay. You step into the center and a single dove flies out from the trees and lands at your feet and begins cooing. Coo, 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 coo.
Hello, dove.
Coo, 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 coo.
I'm Jayne. I don't speak dove, but hi. Can I?
The dove is crying. What would you like to do?
No, don't cry. What's making you cry? Hey, you know what? I don't know if you're my friend, but I'm gonna assume you're my friend. So I don't like it when my friends cry. So I gotta find out what's happening. I would like to roll an investigation check, please.
All right. Yes, let's roll an investigation check. This will be open-ended. This will D20 plus 1d6. Let's give it a roll. 13. You are able to assess that there is some type of magical affliction placed on the dove, and perhaps releasing the dove from this magical affliction will spare it this emotional agony that is currently under.
Cool. I also have a cult, so I would like to do an occult check with
Very
with
well. Yes. What is your occult check attempting to do? Are you attempting to break the magical bonds with occult, or are you trying to better identify the magic? What are you trying to do with it?
I was trying to identify it, but if I have the ability to break it, then break it.
Sky's the limit. You're the character, not me. All right. Yeah, let's roll. We'll set this check at 16. So we're going to roll another d20 plus a 1d6 and see how we do. 12. You can burn some EP, or you can take the failure.
How much EP do I need to burn to make that a success?
4 to make it a success.
Wow, that's the earliest I've ever burned EP. Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
All right. Burning 4 EP, you make it a success. You extend out your hands, and the ethereal eldritch shape of a book opens in front of you, and from it magic erupts and envelops the dove. The magic surrounding the dove breaks, and the dove turns into a gigantic archon, an angel, an angelic being with dove wings, 6 dove wings, and a dove's head. And it looks and it goes, "Thank you, dream child. You have freed me from this imprisonment. In return, I shall grant you one wish of my capacity. What do you desire of me, your ally?"
I desire so much from you, but I'm gonna be good. I just want you to be my friend.
Very well. It plucks a single feather from its one of its 6 wings and hands it to you. "This is a sign of our eternal friendship, mortal being. Should you need me, burn this feather and I shall come to your aid."
What's your name? I didn't catch your name.
"My name is the sound of joy when you see the sun rise, but you can call me Dawn."
Dawn. D-O-N or D-A-W-N? It's kind of important.
There's
like
an E in there somewhere, and then he vanishes.
That's gonna be hard to write on a tattoo when I tattoo it on my arm.
I love that Jayne turned 16 and she's like, "I'm getting a tattoo."
I look around and I see if there's anything just kind of else that needs to be taken care of. I'm glad I got the feather.
The book remains open for a second, which is unusual because every time since you and the book fused together and you destroyed the corporeal essence of the book, it does appear when you use occult spells, but it doesn't remain. So this is new and different that it's still there. What would you like to do with it?
Book, can you hear me?
The book closes and then opens again, and in it, it says, "Bubbles rise as water warms."
Wow, that's deep. Bubbles. I wonder if that means bubbles.
Meanwhile, back at the Broken Taker Tavern, Bubbles sits next to Fizz, who is regaling him with all of the grand adventures that he has participated in following ENGICON 1022 and its disastrous aftermath, and talking about all the friends he made that do not return his calls. And Bubbles is just desperately trying to care even a little bit. Bubbles has had a really hard time of late and has pretty much hit rock bottom. Bryson, their drinking buddy, refuses to drink with them now as they are ruining the vibe. And they've been kind of sidelined from he's been kind of sidelined from adventures since that. Bubbles, what do you do?
Hey Fizz, my guy.
Hello.
You know I'm normally a pretty chipper dude.
Yeah.
But right now, can we be realsies for a moment?
Yeah, of course.
I really need you to shut up for like 2 minutes. Can you? It's not you. I just.
No, yeah, I get that. No, it's fine.
I've been thinking a lot and my head hurts a lot and I need
right. No, totally, and I get that. And like normally that would be fine because I'm pretty used to that, Because oh man, like let me tell you, my family used to tell me to shut up all the time. There was actually like this one time where it was during this really large dinner, and there was a diplomat. But that's not the important part. The moral of the story, I guess you had to be there, but she did tell me one time to shut up.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened.
Oh, you get used to it, because it happens kind of a lot. So there is that. But right, shutting up.
Suddenly the door opens and the mechanical defense system known as Scythe enters into the Broken Tankard Tavern. Fizzlewig, the Fabulous. It is I, Scythe, Home Protection Unit, reminding you that you still have to clean out the Underlands for all of the horrific amalgamations created via alchemy because of your ill-fated alliance with Dr. Radisson.
I mean, okay, I don't understand why that would be my responsibility. I feel like that's kind of something that he should take care of, right?
I will remind you that the collaborative efforts of the Cool Adventurers destroyed Dr. Radisson, and as you are the only surviving member of his cadre of ill intent, you have to do it to restore the goodwill of the Cool Adventurers in the community.
But wait, I mean, did he really? He was more of like a gooey kind of. I mean, honestly, he has more hands now to help than ever before.
Fizz, listen.
Yeah, right. Sorry, shutting up.
The weapon said restore good faith with the Cool Adventurers. I also need to restore some good faith with the Cool Adventurers because my best drinking buddies have accused me of killing the vibe, which is crazy because the only thing I am killing is it. But if we go and take care of this with the Cool Adventurers again, and then you'll be done with this task that seems unpleasant.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It seems like
let's hang out.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that sounds okay. All right, we'll do it.
Wonderful. I am glad you found the resolve to do the task you had already been assigned to. Here is a printout of the areas that still need resolution, and then it prints out a map of the Underlands surrounding area and hands it to you.
Oh, that's like most of it, huh?
Yes.
That is a pretty significant chunk.
Okay.
What if we just did this little bit right here? Like, we could probably knock that out in, like, I don't know, a day? You think a day?
I don't know. I don't think I've been there.
As Dr. Wainwright is often quoted as saying, 90% of success is putting in the effort. So I will consider it 90% complete if you do 1 day of work.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sounds fair. Yeah.
Do I get like a team or some supplies?
Considering this is not an adventure, Dr. Wainwright has allowed me to relieve Bubbles of their suspended status for this cleanup job.
Great. Awesome. Bubbles and Fizz to the cleaning duty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very well. Good luck.
We're
And
gonna
then
do it.
he hands you 2 brooms, a mop, and a bucket.
Did I ever tell you the one about the skeleton and the beer? It was it's a class and you probably had to be there for it.
And so with that, the 2 adventurers set off to the Duergar elevator that would take them to the lowest levels of the Underlands, the subterranean ecosystem that permeates the entire world, inhabited with monsters both dire, dangerous, and deranged. After descending down for a few minutes, we've received some more donations, so I am going to pull a card and read what happens next. I got this one. All right. You need a guide, and a creature will offer its help for an unusual price. What is that unusual price, Bubbles?
Oh god. A yard of skin, but it doesn't matter where it's from.
Yes. As you descend, the doors open from the elevator, and you step out into the darkness, and a small, pale figure jumps out. It has an enormous mustache and white eyes. You immediately recognize it as a Darrow, which is the subterranean gnome species. And it goes, it's Twinkie, and I had a dream that you would come, surface worlders.
Cool. Love the stash.
Thank you. I love your the ones you're growing in. It's very nice, very mature.
Thank you. These are adult male orc tusks.
Yes, I have quite the collection. Anywho, that's not important. What is important is you are not accustomed to these underlands, I take it.
What? No.
Well, then Twinkie will serve as a guide, and all Twinkie asks in return is a yard of flesh. It doesn't matter what type of flesh, just flesh that I can leather and make a very nice coat from.
Can I roll for deception to convince him that I totally know where I am and what I'm doing?
Absolutely. I believe you're not trained in deception.
Oh, I am bad. No, yeah.
Yeah,
no.
so that's just gonna be a charisma check. We'll set it at 18. Let's roll a d20.
Oh boy.
Twinkie slaps you across the face. Well, if you're such a master of the Underlands, how come you didn't see that coming?
Can I do a persuasion? Because I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot of flesh down there. Hey Twinkie, because there's probably the whole thing is flesh down there. Like it's basically like I'm sorry, John. And what I'm thinking is we can, with your help and maybe some friends, you could have as much skin as you guys could carry.
Ooh. So your negotiation tactic is to offer me more than I asked for.
Yeah.
Agreed. Let's go. He clicks his heels together and picks up an enormous bloody hook. Don't mind the blood. It has nothing to do. I definitely wasn't going to attack you. Come. Twinkie will lead you. Let me see your map. He holds out his hands.
I hand him the map.
Oh. Yes, I shall take you there in no time. And when we arrive, I will expect my 100 yards of flesh.
What? How are we? Fizz.
It will definitely figure itself out. Here we go.
Yes, and I shall assure you that no traps or ambushes from other deranged Darrow will befall you on our journey. Right, boys? We're not going to attack them at all. Yeah, we're not going to attack them at all, we promise. Come,
See, they promised. We're safe.
Okay, well, we're here.
Yeah.
Twinkie pulls out a flute made out of a thigh bone and goes, and a giant purple worm erupts from the earth and lands. It has 5 seats on its back. He jumps in the front seat. Come. Get on the worm. Let's go.
I'm gonna use my athletics ability to do a cool little like cartwheel thingy onto the worm.
Yeah, you fucking are. Let's roll it. This will be open-ended. The higher you roll, the more cool it'll be. We'll set 1d20 plus 1d6. Crit fail! So why don't you tell me what happens instead?
So I like go to do the cartwheel, but I like my arm slips on the bloody floor. So I like basically land on my neck and it cracks.
Oof. Well, it's good to know you're definitely would have put up a great fight should we have attacked you instead of this negotiation. Twinkie has 0 respect for you now.
Cool. Great. Just what I wanted.
And you have literally hit rock bottom.
Can I use my animal handling to like calm the worm?
The worm is pretty calm, but you can use your animal handling to bond with the worm so that it is attached to you in some capacity.
Always down for some worm bonding.
All right, let's worm bond. We'll set this check at, because of your general unfamiliarity with the Underlands, we'll set this check at 16. So 1d20 plus 1d6. 8. So you failed. You can take the failure or you can burn 4 EP to turn it into a success.
I'm burning the EP.
All right. Yes, burning the EP. You pull out a small piece of jerky and walk to the massive maw of the purple worm, and you toss it in. Its tongue grabs it, and then like a smaller tongue, it like comes out of the tongue, and an even smaller tongue comes out of that one. So it's like a 3-segmented tongue.
And then
it's like a cat's tongue.
My hand
Yes.
taking the jerky and leaving a lot of sticky. Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly. You get it. And then it kind of takes its tongue and rubs it along your face. Because of your familiarity with animals, you know that it's marking you. So you have bonded with the purple worm.
Worth it. So then I very excitedly get on top of the worm to ride it, sporting a now something about Mary haircut.
Yes, and it is fantastic. The two of you mount the worm as Twinkie goes, hip, hip, and then it begins like worming itself down the road. As you look through the cavern, you can see dozens of Darrow with like crossbows and rocks and clearly setting up for ambushes. But as they jump up to attack, you see Twinkie go, no. And then they duck back down. And this happens like multiple times. So it's a good thing you paid for this service. Otherwise, you would have had to fight the whole way down here. And after about 45 minutes, you come to a massive cavern. And you can see at the very surface of the cavern, it looks like a piece of metal facility is jutting out of this. This is probably the lowest part of Dr. Radisson's laboratory. There is a burst hole, and it looks like the mutagen that Dr. Radisson was playing with it has poured out and is still pouring out into a large ravine, creating a reservoir of mutagen that is mixing with the already eldritch forces of the Underland. And you can see it's mutating the fauna, the flora, even the rocks are mutating around this giant lake of mutagen. Here we are, exactly where you need to go on the map. And look at all this flesh. I'll be able to make all coats of the world.
All right. So can I turn the machine off?
Can I make a perception check?
Yeah, yes. What are Fizz, you hop off of the purple worm and you begin climbing your way up to the lowest level of the laboratory to shut off the mutagen overflow. While you're doing that, Bubbles, what would you like to roll a perception check on?
I want to, or maybe a nature check to see how the mutagen is affecting.
Yeah. Yeah, nature is one of your skills, so let's roll a d20 plus a 1d6. This one will be open-ended. The higher you roll, the more I'll tell you. 13. All right, yeah. You can see that this is what explorers call the shallow Underdark. It's the uppermost level, and there's not a lot to it. Worms, insects, most of the subterranean races live lower than this. But you can see that the worms are grotesque. They have like multiple heads. They have like spikes coming out of them. They seem to be eating each other. One looks like it's made out of eyes. There are things swimming in the lake of mutagen, which is just probably not good. The mushrooms are enormous and seem to have mammalian qualities to them, like they got teeth and mouths and stuff. And the rocks kind of sway back and forth like they've been turned into jello. That's sure. So basically what you would assume about a subterranean cavernous environment is completely inverted in a nightmarish kind of goofy body horror way.
Cool. Can I use animal handling to perceive if these mutated worms are having a good time with their mutations?
I would say from your nature check, you can determine that if at any point they would have been docile, the mutagen has just overridden them and they're giving into their aggressive instincts. They seem to be attacking each other. Like I said, even the mushrooms are attacking each other. And you notice one of the worms kind of slithering near a rock, and then the rock just slams down onto it and eats the worm, which to your knowledge, rocks are not capable of doing.
Yeah. I'm gonna stroke my not beard and say fascinating.
Meanwhile, Fizz, you're climbing the surface of the cavern. It takes you a little while, but you finally get to the jutting out section of the laboratory. You climb into it, and yeah, mutagen is pouring out of this thing through a busted pipe. Looking around, you can shut it down with an engineering check of 18.
Can I aid?
Yeah, you can aid. Let's roll a d20. We need an 11 or better. Oh, that's going to be a hindrance. So how do you aid, Bubbles? Now, remember, you're down below, so you can only like verbally aid.
Yeah, so I'm going to be like, hey, man, don't freak out, but the mutagen seems like maybe really dangerous and don't touch it at all. And distract him.
Yes, that does distract him. Fizz was well aware of the mutagenic properties of the mutagen, and he was avoiding it quite successfully. But when you said that caused him to roll his eyes so hard that he like kind of slipped, and your boot just barely touched like a drop of the mutagen, and now your boot has come alive, and it is trying to eat your foot. It's not very effective. It's just kind of like slowly like a cat making little what are those called, muffins?
Biscuits.
Little biscuits. That's the feeling that your boot is giving you, but it's distracting you just enough that if you're going to make this engineering check, you're going to make it with a d20 without the d6 because you have been hindered.
I'm so sorry.
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's roll the d20. We need an 18 or better. That's what we said. It's a flat d20. 13. That is not going to take it. You can burn some EP to turn it into success, or you can take the failure.
I think taking the failure.
All right. Yeah. You begin. If you remember the fleshy buttons that Dr. Radis had used, you begin pushing them, and they like giggle and squirt and squirm as you touch them. And you're trying to enter in like an access code, and then you hear teleportation activated. And then behind you you see this this kind of large fleshy orifice open up, like, and then a beam of energy forms out of it. Let's roll a d6 and tell me high, low, or middle.
Low.
Low. All right, let's roll that d6. We're looking for 1 or 2. 3, middle. All right, out materializes Jayne Goodfield. She kind of tumbles out, but as she does, a large, monstrous, like flesh worm also like emerges out of it and immediately begins attacking you two. Jayne, because you are first, what would you like to do?
I am so confused.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You were just at this beautiful field, like thinking like, Bubbles, I'm going to talk to him at some point. And then wham, you're just teleported back into the freaky dungeon from last month that Fizz was supposed to clean up. And it is definitely not clean.
Okay, this is bad. But there's a worm attacking us, right?
Yes, there is a worm. It opens up his mouth and there's a little face, and the face goes, "I'm gonna eat you." And then
all right, I would like to. Can I use "You're My Friend" now?
You can. You can. Yeah, go ahead. That's a D20. Let me check. I'm trying to remember how that works. Let me read. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So the way a D4. Give me a odd or even.
Okay. Even. It's different.
All right. Let's roll the D4.
But okay. New rules.
1 odd. Yeah, because it was a little OP, I just on the fly changed it. It still works, but now if you don't get it right, it will leave. If you do get it right, it will become your ally and you can use it in combat. So because we did, I just made it up. I just told you I made it up. So the worm like looks at you and it goes, it opens its mouth again. It goes, "Oh, you're my friend, but I'm going to eat him." And then it like slams over to Fizz. Fizz, what do you do?
Let me. Whew, that's a whole lot of worm. Run.
Yeah. So
I go. You know what? Yeah. Can I do a swan dive into the mutant lake?
you certainly can.
Ooh, okay.
You certainly can. You leap out of the hole in the laboratory and you begin falling down towards the mutagen lake. That will make it the worm's turn. The worm is going to pursue, and let's roll a d6. That beat you by 3, Fizz. So you can take a good amount of damage, or you can have something bad happen.
Bad.
Okay, yes. The worm is slightly more aerodynamic than you, so it kind of catches up, opens its mouth, opens its other mouth, and swallows you whole. You are currently incapacitated as the worm slams into the mutagen and continues to mutate. So you are currently incapacitated for 1 round.
What is it with things eating me down here?
I don't know. I don't know.
This is like the 3rd time.
Now, Bubbles, because you were down there as well, the impact splashed on you, and it
Well,
beat you by 3, so you could take a good amount of damage or have something bad happen to you.
Wait, I thought I was on like an entirely different level because he climbed up into the lab.
Yeah, you were down here by the lake because you're like looking. Remember, you were looking
Yeah,
and figuring out what's going on. So you're by the lake. He was up here. The worm slammed into the water, which caused a wave of water with the mutagen to hit you.
Oh,
So would you like to take a good amount of damage or have something bad happen?
can I use some EP and or athletics to like dodge out of the way of?
Yes, you can use 3 EP to lower it to yeah, a less impactful thing.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, burn in 3 EP. It now can cause a tiny bit of damage or have something weird happen.
I'm gonna go damage, I think.
All right, the mutagen splashes on you, and your clothes animate. It becomes alive and begins strangling you for a single point of damage.
I rip off my cardigan.
Does Jayne see that?
Yes, Jayne did see that.
Jayne's like, "Ooh, hi, Bubbles."
That would make it Bubbles' turn. Bubbles, what do you do?
Do I hear her say hi, Bubbles?
You do hear someone say hi, Bubbles, echoing through like the cavern. Roll a d4, odd or even.
Odd.
All right, let's roll that d4. 1. Yeah, you recognize the voice as Jayne. And you look up and you can see Jayne is looking out of the laboratory. You didn't know she was up there, but you're happy to see her.
Jayne, what are you doing here?
I am asking myself the very same question. I was in a field. What?
You need to leave. It's not safe.
I don't know how I got here.
What do you?
I was in a field with hunky men. Oh yeah, I'm into like hunky men now. Also, you're pretty hunky. Did you know that? Anyway, not the point. I all of a sudden I was in a hole, and now I'm here, and I've been here before. This is how I got older. Yeah.
I'm processing because as she's saying all of this, I'm noticing that she looks older, and then finishes the sentence with that.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to catch up, but right now maybe come down here away from the worm, and I hold out my arms to catch her.
I mean, the worm is my friend, but sure, I'd like to jump into your arms anyway, so I jump.
All right, I'm going to say that this is a defend action. So until Bubbles next round, Bubbles, you are defending Jayne.
Yes.
As Jayne jumps down and falls into Bubbles' arms. That would make it Jayne's turn. Jayne, what do you want to do?
She melts.
Okay.
Hi.
We'll come back to you. We're waiting. That would make it Fizz's turn. Fizz, you are currently incapacitated, so we have to roll a d20. You need an 11 or better. 19.
Ooh.
You've overcome your incapacitated state, and you get your action. What would you like to do?
So I'm gonna use my triangle to cut open the worm and get out.
Sounds great. I love it. All right. Yeah. So let's roll a d20 plus a 1d6. 23. Yes, using your triangle, you pull it and you begin playing the triangle. The sonic reverberation causes the worm to explode. Odd or even?
Even.
4, yes. The sonic reverberation is so loud that it creates like a bubble. So you tumble down as the mutagen like pushes away, and the ground around you cracks, and the mutagen begins seeping out down to a lower level. It quickly, by the time you land on the ground, the mutagen is draining into an even lower level of this cavern. As the mutagen drains, the fleshy things that were growing off of the mutagen begin to squirm and die. The worms, no longer having the mutagen directly in contact with them, also begin to like overly mutate and explode. Congratulations, you have successfully defeated the Lake of Mutagen. Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
That's great.
All right. With that, you see Twinkie go, "Oh, flesh!" And he goes, "Come on, boys!" And seemingly out of nowhere, like dozens of Darrow that definitely were not going to attack you the second they got the chance, leap out and begin carving the rock flesh and the worm flesh and the fungal flesh, just like going ham with enormous saws made out of teeth and just like really gleefully destroying all of this stuff and draping it over themselves and saying what nice coats they now have. Well, we got another donation. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, we got some cheers. Thank you for the cheers. I'm going to count that as a donation as well. All right. I have a farmer asks you for help. He believes his livestock are possessed. So the way we're going to incorporate that one is Twinkie kind of runs up to shake your hands, and then he looks at the large chasm created by the triangle, and he goes, "Oh gosh, gee willikers, our home's down there." And he looks down and he goes, "Oh no, all of my worms. Oh no, you guys got to go down there and save my worms from being mutated."
Why?
Do we have to?
Yeah, that.
Oh yeah, no, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Thank you.
So
I'll do it.
options are: is it true? Is he telling the truth? Or what does someone gain from mutating the worms? You can answer either of those. And because this was Fizz's doing, Fizz, is this true? Are the worms going to be mutated by the mutagen? And or would he actually gain something from them being mutated? Those are your options.
He would definitely gain something from them being mutated.
Okay. Then consider this a successful persuade and persuade him away.
Okay, so your worms basically look like graboids now, and not only are they faster at tunneling, but they've got like 3 tongue faces that look super cool.
True.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like that.
You're welcome.
All right. Never mind. We'll go back to harvesting the flesh. And then he hops and clicks his heels and continues to harvest flesh. Now, while we're assessing this situation, I would like to point out that the mutagen is still pouring out of the laboratory, but instead of filling up this ravine and creating a lake, it's now just going directly into the chasm, which is going to a lower level that Twinkie said is where all the Darrow live. Twinkie, being self-interested, was really only interested in himself, but as you begin to process exactly all the information that he told you, you could be mutating an entire population of things that are definitely suspicious and probably cannibalistic into something far worse. What you want to do with that, I'm going to leave that up to you.
Real quick.
Yes.
Since the mutagen went through the
chasm?
The chasm, thank you. Is my cardigan okay now?
No, your cardigan, it's like, it's high, lower, middle.
Middle.
All right, let's roll. We're looking for a 3 or 4. 2. The cardigan is very much alive, and hostile.
Cool. I'm gonna.
So you can pick it up and take it with you, but it is definitely hostile at the moment.
Can I roll a strength check to like kick it into the chasm?
Yes, and because you are trained in athletics, I will give you the athletics check for that. So let's roll a d20 plus a 1d6. We'll need to do 12 or better. 10. You go to kick it and it wraps around your leg. You can burn some EP or you can take the failure.
Definitely burning EP.
Okay. It's
Can I
going to
burn my
cost
EP
you
instead?
3 EP.
Hey,
Cool. So
hey,
all-
hero. Can I burn my EP instead?
I don't think we ever established if you can.
No,
So
it's-
yes, you can.
I'm in his arms currently.
Oh, that's
That is true. You are in his arms. So I will say yes. Well, you can aid.
I will aid. I'll aid.
Yeah, you can aid. And if you succeed on the aid, I will make the action free instead of costing EP. All right.
Okay.
That's our new rule. We're making up new rules today, guys.
So many new rules.
So many new rules. So many rules. That's
New
Hazards
rules.
and Hijinks. Like, subscribe, follow. We make up the rules as we go along. All right, let's roll that d20. We need an 11 or better. The aid was 10. That is a hindrance.
Can I
no.
EP the aid roll?
Yes, you can.
Great.
That'll
I'll
cost
EP
you 8 EP.
8?
8?
You want 8 EP for one
No,
thing?
4 EP. I'm kidding.
For crying out loud.
I just Jayne is not loving the ominous voice in the sky this episode.
No, I'm really pissed off. All right, no, I'm kidding. I'm not. I'm not pissed off. For the audience, Holly is not pissed off at all, but Jayne is like, "What the hell, man?" Yeah, drop the
so
4.
4 EP.
Drop the 4.
Yes.
take it.
How do you aid Bubbles?
Okay, so the sweater wraps around the cardigan wraps around his foot,
Mhm.
and that momentarily takes his eyes off of Jayne, who is still very perplexing. That is completely different. And then she jumps to the ground, and he doesn't realize that I am more powerful than I was before, and so I do a little bit of a cry, and I like a little bit of like, oh, but it's not my standard like crying wail.
Uh-huh.
It's a get off of me. Like it's hormonal rage, and
Okay, yeah.
and that is surprising to everyone, including the cardigan.
Yes. That causes the cardigan to go limp as Bubbles successfully kicks it into the chasm. It floats down the chasm. To be seen perhaps later. All right. So Fizz, what do you want to do?
Well, obviously I've saved the day and my job here is done.
Yeah, that is a grossly inaccurate interpretation of what happened.
So I mean the mutagen's still pouring, right?
Yeah, the mutagen is still pumping out. You got to go back up there and try and
Guess I
shut
gotta
it
go
down
back
again.
up there. Yeah. Okay.
Or you could, because at this point you can't shut it down mechanically. You're going to have to figure out some way to stop it, some way to plug it or some way to shut off the mutagen. But you can't go back to the same keypad because all that's going to do is summon another cool adventurer and another worm. And you don't need Mildred showing up in this nonsense. It's already crazy enough.
Yes, we do.
I mean, do you guys think Mildred could? I mean, we could forget it. All right. So, okay. I guess I guess I would go climbing back up there, and then can I climb back up there and then do a perception on what else I can try and futz with? You guys have a big cork? Either of you? Anybody? Works.
I could maybe make one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll give you an investigation check. So let's roll a d20 plus a 1d6.
Huh, I can't do that.
19. Yes, you find enough rudimentary knickknacks that you can kind of MacGyver a plug to stop the mutagen that will itself not mutate when coming in contact with the mutagen. But you are going to need 2 successful aids before you get 2 hindrances. So you're going to need your party to help you do this. But if you get 2 hindrances before you get 2 aids, it will be a permanent failure. You will not be able to plug the hole. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, cool. So you explain what needs to be done to the other cool adventurers as they make their way up the cavern wall. Bubbles is climbing and Jayne is just hanging on to Bubbles' broad shoulders as he climbs up. So who wants to do the first aid check?
I'm a little heavier and I keep bouncing off of his back, and there are things that weren't there before that are now bouncing.
I have my hands free and she doesn't, so I'll do the first aid check.
All right, let you know how it goes. D20, we need an 11 or better. Nat 20.
That could be an instant success.
All right,
Pretty
that
sure.
overrides. That counts as 2. So we have gotten our 2 successes. Why don't you tell me what happens, Bubbles?
I jump up to the level. I gently put Jayne down. I take a giant, huge jump, like tuck, and with both legs kick the pipe that it's all coming out of so hard that it bends like completely in the other direction and stuff.
Yes. You kick it so hard that it slams against the wall and then it like wedges shut like clamped. Congratulations, you have successfully stopped the mutagen overflow. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
I continue to be awesome and succeeding forever.
Really, this with help from nobody.
All right, and as we said, we got 2 plot twists, and I only read off 1. Let's do. I'm gonna. All right, yeah. As you make your way back down, confident that you've done your part, and the Darrow can handle the mutagen all on their own. In fact, they'll probably enjoy it considering their weird, freaky Darrow society. You're all making your way back to the elevator when Twinkie comes up and he's holding a head. The head is of a malformed humanoid. It looks like at one point it was an orc. And you recognize it as one of Dr. Radisson's assistants. And as he walks forward with the severed head, the head utters, "The water warms." And then it explodes. Yeah, that was weird. So I don't know if that means anything to you, but it was saying some weird stuff, and now it exploded. So I'm gonna go back to doing what I was doing. Jayne, this one is for you. What was powering the head, or can what the head said be trusted?
Yes. Because that's what the book said.
That is what the book said.
And I trust the book.
All right.
So
well, then Jayne tells the party that before she was in the field and she encountered a vision that told her bubbles rise as the water warms.
Yeah. And the water's warming because the head said the water is warming. So that means that Bubbles, you're going to rise? I don't get that part. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like, since we're, right by the elevator, maybe that's it. We just go in the elevator and Bubbles rise.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's definitely one interpretation.
I press the elevator.
The elevator door opens and Bubbles steps in. Fizz, how do you interpret that prophecy?
That sounds like a big old pile of not my problem.
I love it. You also step into the elevator. Jayne, How do you interpret? Do you want to use any of your skills to interpret it, or just go with your gut?
Yes, I want to do an occult check, but this time
Okay.
for information about possibly what
All
the
right, let's roll an occult check. We'll set this one because neither of your companions were interested in the prophecy. It's fading away. It's becoming more obscure. So we're going to set this check at 18, but you do have your bonus. So 1d20 plus 1d6. 14.
Are you rolling a D14? Like is
You can't get mad at the channel familiar. He's doing his best. He's giving the rolls you need. You can burn EP to turn it into a success, or you can take the failure.
I'm gonna burn the EP because I need to know.
So you burn the EP, you turn it into success.
I'm guessing that's 4, right?
The ethereal book appears before you. It opens and you look. To rise is to challenge. To descend is to rise.
To rise is to challenge. Descend. I run into the elevator and push the down button.
Okay.
Please trust me on this. Please trust me on this.
What?
Bubbles, you have to go down.
Lie, Jayne. I don't.
Can I
What
press
is
back?
going on? You look different.
I-
You're acting different, and
Look.
you just sent us to hell.
No, I didn't send you to hell. The prophecy said that to go down is to rise, and Bubbles needs to rise, which means you have to go down. We all have to go down with you, but you have to go down. But I just mean down the tube, not like down in lifestyle. Like you just have to go to the bottom. Please trust me on this. Please.
How long? does
And
this
as
take
Jayne
in
pushes, what was that, Bubbles?
While this conversation is happening as it's going down.
No, so Jayne hit down, but Fizz also said that he pushed up. So right now nothing is happening because it is going both down and up.
Fizz.
Duergar are very
We're both holding
decisive people, so they
holding the
don't
button.
override each other. It's
There's
trying to
two
figure out how
paddles.
to
We're
do
both
both.
holding one button.
We're
Yeah,
literally
they're still
holding the
holding.
2 buttons. Fizz, let go of the button, please.
Oh, I have an idea.
Okay, what's your idea?
I am going to respectfully and gently hold Jayne's hand, but happens to be the one that's on the button.
Ooh, I'm going to say this is a charisma check. And we are going to roll a D20. And
Do I get
for
any
a skill
advantage
check against a
because-
player, it has to beat their AC by 3, so you have to roll a 15 or better.
Do I get any advantage because she thinks I'm hunky now?
I will give you a situational bonus of a D6.
What? No.
Hey, you
Yeah.
established that. You
Yeah,
established
that's
that.
on you.
Yeah, I'm going to say this is a skill.
Fine.
He is using his innate hunkiness.
Not fair.
But Bubbles, you failed. You can burn the last of your EP to turn it
I'm
into a
gonna, yeah,
success.
no, I want to go up. I'm burning it.
Okay. Bubbles takes Jayne's hand and kind of like holds it. And
look
say
at him.
something hunky.
Protein.
If I'm gonna trust you, I need you to trust me.
To rise is to challenge. So if we go up, we're facing danger. Just so you know. I trust you that you can handle it. But there's danger on top of this elevator. Let's go.
Have we ever met a challenge we couldn't handle?
That's why I
Oh,
trust
that's
you.
hunky. That's a hunky line.
why-
Give yourself 3 EP for that hunky ass line.
Wait, didn't you say that the challenge was down?
No. Rise is a challenge to what did you say here?
To rise is to challenge, to descend is to rise. Damn, prophecies
we
being
don't
I already let go of
confirmed.
the button. We're going up.
Yeah, no, yeah. And so the elevator begins climbing up as a tense quiet overtakes the cool adventurers. It is definitely Um,
I'm still holding Bubbles' hand, by the way.
yeah, no, they're still holding hands, and Fizz is just looking and going, "Thank God I'm in my 30s." The door opens, and Oakvale is on fire. It just seems like immediately black
I
billowing.
pressed the down button on the elevator.
And the elevator begins to descend. That was great. You can have 2 EP or 2 HP. Which would you prefer?
I'll take the 2 EP.
All right, you 2 EP coming your way. That was a damn good joke. The elevator descends back down to the Underlands level. So you're back where you started. The door opens, and you see.
I mean, obviously, Bubbles, we were supposed to go down. None of that is any of our. But you should listen to Jayne, right?
You should
I'm
listen
gonna
to
sit
Jayne.
down in the corner of the elevator and refuse to move because I'm having a hard time and this is a lot of stress.
You should listen to me.
From above, you hear a distant explosion, and then the sound of metal being ripped and the elevator being pulled upward. It's almost like someone is literally pulling it up by its cord. So it's like jerking up as it's going.
I guess the choice was made for us.
Can I blow the wait? Can I use my triangle to form it into a jackhammer and destroy the floor from under us?
Yes, you can. Are you using your cool ability?
I am using.
Or are you using your engineering skills?
The go-go gadget action.
Oh, the go-go gadget. Yes. All right, let's roll a d20. We need a d12 or better. And then I am going to say if you succeed, this is going to be an athletics check. Oh, no, you failed. You can burn some EP to turn it into a success.
I want to burn that extra EP I just got.
All right, let's burn that 4 EP. You turn it into a success. You quickly throw open the hatch, and you take the triangle and you ring it a couple times, and it turns into a climbing apparatus that you jump onto, and you kind of wave for Bubbles and Jayne to jump onto it as well. They jump on. They're both kind of hanging onto this device as it begins climbing down, as if it was climbing, like a climber, as if it was an athletic dude climbing, or an athletic person, an athletic human lady, orc, whatever, folk. Anywho, it's going down. It goes down. Do you want to go back to the level you were at before, or do you want to go even deeper?
Deeper.
All right. And the 3 of you descend below the Underlands into the Underlands.
I knew that was happening. Can you black hole of lightning yourself?
Yes. Ow!
Wouldn't it be the lands?
No, that's absurd. That's the lower level. All right, for those keeping track at home, I have been hit for another 2 points of damage. I am now officially at half health. What will happen when the ominous voice in the sky loses all of its health? Who knows? Be sure to like, subscribe, follow to find out.
God is for HP.
All right. And
so to murder God.
You arrive at the Underlands. The triangle turns back into a triangle and goes around your neck. This is much darker than the level above the Underlands, because there's not iridescent fungi, there's not bioluminescent rocks or anything like that. The only thing is a pale green glow coming from this pool of mutagen that you can see in the distance. What do you do?
So I take the triangle off my neck and put it back in its holster.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's where it went.
Obviously, like all triangles come with the akin to a gun holster right on my hip.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty badass.
yeah. No, it looks super weird.
No, yeah, no. Now that I was thinking about it more, it would look super weird, which is perfect for you. All right, Jayne, what would you like to do?
I just go. I do what
Ooh.
Jayne does and just start walking.
Jayne just starts walking. All right, Jayne is walking into the darkness. Bubbles, what do you do?
I'm gonna make a nature check.
All right, let's roll a nature check. This will be open-ended. We need a d20 plus 1d6. The more you learn is going to be based off of the higher the roll. 22. All right. Now, we're so deep underground that this is like primordial earth, if that makes sense. It's somehow closer to the elemental plane of earth. And so it's more resistant to mutagen because it has less things to mutate. It's pure rock down here. There's nothing that's going to mutate it. And so the mutagen is just kind of pooling. But because these caverns are slanted and disjointed, it's pooling in weird places. So it's creating little pockets and pools of this mutagen. You can tell from the splashes and things like that when the torrent first came down, when the chasm first opened, this whole area was flooded. So it did go somewhere. It drained to some point. And you can smell ash,
So
which
it's
is strange because there shouldn't be anything down here that can burn. The mutagen can't burn, and the rock certainly can't burn. So you aren't quite sure why you're smelling ash.
And so is it still actively draining?
No, because you plugged it up at the top, it's all completely, it's still.
Okay.
And as you assess all of that, you see Jayne has just come up to a large pool of it, where the pathway kind of dips down and then back up. So it's about a 15-foot pool of the mutagen. Jayne, what would you like to do?
I'm looking at my reflection or whatever I can see in the pool.
Okay.
And I just think that like this is what changed me.
It is.
I wonder if it would change someone else.
Ooh.
And then I turn to Bubbles and I call for Bubbles. Bubbles!
I go over.
All right.
What's up?
I know you just saw me again for the first time in a while and I look different and I'm sorry for that, but
No, you don't have to be sorry for looking different. I just want to know what's going on.
this is what's going on. This pool changed me. It made me better, if that makes sense.
I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't. This specific one?
Well, no, a pool like it, but I had a friend in it and he gave me the way and the book is gone. It's in me now and I am stronger and older and more powerful than I ever was. And I think this is going to sound real weird and I'm sorry, but like, what if you tried it?
Can I walk up with my triangle fidget spinning above my head, casting some light? Because we've been in complete darkness this whole time.
Yeah, that's true. Just the ambient green glow of it was creating like a eerily like intimate moment between the two of them as they were both illuminated by this green soft light, and then just this like swirling
fluorescent. And I have to add that it does make a great mixer. Once.
Oh shit, chaotic dumb strikes again. All right, Bubbles. With this information, what do you do?
I am not down. can I? I'm gonna kind of start backing away slowly, and can I perform a deception check? Be like, that sounds so cool. But I think I left my knitting needles in the elevator, and if I'm gonna have to fuse with something, I feel like it's probably those.
You don't need a deception check for this. I'm just gonna go with it because I would never. You're my friend, so I'm like,
Okay.
I get it. I get it. I can see that there's a sadness in your eyes, and I wanted to do something I could help.
Okay.
And, sorry that I even brought it up. But.
So I go to the elevator.
Yes.
And
you see that
it doesn't work. Does it work anymore?
No, the elevator was being pulled up, but as you step back to the elevator shaft and you go, oh, wait a minute, the elevator was being pulled up. It comes tumbling down and crashes right in front of you. D4. Let's roll a D4. Odd or even?
Odd.
Odd. Oh, yes. Using your athletic abilities, you jump and do a backward somersault, avoiding the debris from the collapsed elevator, and you land looking at it. And sure enough, yeah, your two knitting needles tumble out and kind of like swirl to your feet. You grab them and pick them up as something begins laughing.
Do you guys hear that, or am I going crazy?
And then from the shrapnel of the elevator, a large ironclad devil with 6 black wings and a face it's wearing a helmet, and its helmet is featureless except it's shaped like a skull. And it wears on one shoulder, it has a brand of the infernal layers of hell. And
can I throw a mutagen at it?
It has a fly, the symbol of Beelzebub. This is Thanacel, the Bone Daddy.
No, not my Bone Daddy.
He pulls out a whip made out of fire and pain and like whips across. Let's roll a D6. Oh, 1. You guys are lucky. He crit fumbled. So that's going to do no damage to anyone. And each of you can take a free action. You can do a free power attack or a free power heal if you would like to. I don't think any of you have taken any damage yet, so it sounds like we're going to get some free power attacks in here. Bubbles, because you're the closest, you go first.
I have my needles now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to get him pinned against the wall with my needles like crossed around his neck, because I want answers from this man, and my foot in his stomach.
All right, yes. Let's roll 3d6 as you charge into him, taking your needles, and you're trying to pin him against the wall. 3d6. 14. All right. Yeah, you slam him against the wall. That would make it Fizz's turn, because Fizz, you're the next one closest to him. Do you want to use the free action to take a power attack, or do you want to just hang out?
So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to throw mutagen at Bone Daddy.
Okay.
Am I in the way?
Can I use that as a power attack?
Yes, you can use that as a power attack.
Can I also pointedly hit a specific limb? Like I'm trying to hit the whip arm.
Okay, you're trying to hit the whip arm. Got it. All right. High, low, or middle?
High.
High. All right, we're looking for a 5 or 6. Let's roll that D6. 6. We got it. Yes. You take your triangle and you quickly scoop up some of the mutagen and you toss it. It hits Bone Daddy's Thanacel's whip hand and begins mutating it. The whip and the hand kind of contort together, and the whip kind of psychically connected to you immediately begins wrapping around Thanasil and pinning him in place even more. Now let's roll 3d6 to add some damage to that. All right, 10. Oh, we are whooping his ass. All right. Jayne, what would you like to do?
Can I hold this action?
You can hold it, but you have to act before yeah, I'll just tell you when you have to take this. Otherwise
Okay.
you'll lose.
Right. Jayne is really bummed out by even suggesting it, and she just kind of holds.
All right. That would make it his turn, but he's going to hold his action as well, which would make it Bubble's turn. Bubble, what would you like to do?
I'm just gonna scream, cry, what is going on with me?
I've come to put things right, son.
Oh, right? And what does that look like to you?
Well, it's putting you back on track, restoring your heritage, and giving you the clarity you've desperately needed for the past 16 years. I don't count the first two. Mortals aren't really things between birth and year 2. They're just kind of floppy, wet things. They don't count.
For once, I kind of agree with you.
You see, look at that. Father and son getting along.
Okay. Heritage, don't know about that. Don't know about the other thing you said that was blocked out by my violent rage towards you, but clarity sounds good.
Hey, sounds like I got a devil's chance, son. Just take these off of me, and we can talk. I can provide all kinds of clarity.
Can I roll to kidnap my father?
I am going to say you can intimidate him into, because he was coming in full bear to attack, and you can intimidate him, considering he just had his ass handed to him quite thoroughly, into interacting with you diplomatically rather than through combat.
Yeah.
And you can use your intimidation skill for that. So would you like to do that?
Yes, I would, and I would like to use that intimidation to try to negotiate seeing my mom.
Okay. Then I'm going to say that's a conditional. So your check is going to be 15. You need a 15 or better. But if you get 18 or better, then he will agree to showing you your mom again.
Okay, cool.
All right. So we're looking for 15 or better. And if we get that 18, even better. 1d20 plus 1d6.
I hate to say it, but I don't have 1d6 on this.
Oh, no, you do on intimidation.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you have any EP left?
Yes, I got bonus EP. I have 3.
Okay, well, I would burn it now to
Yes,
turn
I
it into a success.
Right now. It's gone.
All right, you burn it into success. I'm going to give you the 15. You did not make the 18. So he goes, fine. I'm willing to talk. And you pull the knitting needles out of the wall. He drops down. He rips off his own arm that was all mutated and throws it on the ground. It bursts into flame and ash. And then he kind of like cauterizes the wound.
Does that mean I get to keep the whip?
Yes, you do. The whip skitters and squirms over to you and wraps around you.
Nice.
Sick.
You now have an animated whip.
And
Wow.
he's
Delightful, a new friend.
You did it. You did it. You got your friend. All right. Jayne, if you don't use your power attack right now, you will lose it. So it's up to you if you want to use it now.
I mean, it sounds like Bubbles wants to talk, so I'm gonna not use it.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat it.
All right. I'm going to give you 4 EP for not using it.
You.
Okay. So Bubbles, this is your opportunity to talk to Thanasil. while that's going on, we're going to split the party. So you're talking to Thanasil because Fizz recognizes this is probably a heavy conversation and is like, maybe we should go, like, I don't really care. And so he turns around back to Jayne, and they're going to investigate the mutagen and the pool. Fizz and Jayne, you make your way back towards the pool. Jayne, you're still quite confused by this whole situation, and very emotionally like fraught. Fizz, you're kind of in a good mood because of your new friend. So the two of you kind of look out, and you look out over the mutagen, and you hear something like footsteps. What do you do?
Do I have any glass flasks?
Yes, you're an engineer. You have all of them.
Great. Can I fill as many as possible with mutagen?
Yes. That will be an alchemy check. So let's roll a d20 plus 1d6. The better you roll, the more you have.
Heck yeah.
I would like to do this too, because I have alchemy as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Excellent choice.
Do you want the same roll, or do you want your own roll? If you do the same roll, I'll add 2d6 to the roll.
But do we split the amount that we get?
No, it's not going to work like that.
Yeah, it's like an age then. Same roll. Same roll.
Okay, yeah. Then what I'm going to do is, if you get 15 or higher, I'm going to say both of you get a new magic item called mutagen, and you'll be able to use it every show moving forward. If you get the 15, so 1d20 plus 2d6, let's roll. So rolls have been shit tonight, so it's entirely possible.
Both have BP. This has a shit ton of BP.
Hey. 25. Yes, both of you have successfully gathered a ton of mutagen. You're putting it all into Fizz's bag of holding. But Jayne, you're reminding him that because you're helping, you get these as well. You get them. You get them as well. And so both of you will from this point forward have the magical item mutagen. Mutagen will either you can throw it at an enemy, and it will either immediately kill them or mutate them into a big bad evil monster, depending on your roll, based on a high, middle, low roll.
Chaotic.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Congratulations on your 2 magic items. So the sound of steps get closer, and you see just a bunch of Darrow charging towards you, but they don't seem aggressive. They're running from something. What do you do?
Well, I don't want my friends to get hurt, so I don't know. I don't know if I ever made friends with the Darrow.
You did not make friends with the Darrow. You didn't really meet them.
That's okay. I'll still go to help.
All right. You're gonna have to get across the pool. So, as my understanding, you don't have an athletics. So we're just gonna roll a strength as you try and leap over the pool of mutagen.
Bad.
You need a 12 or better.
Let's
roll a d20. Oh, do you have any EP left?
I have 4 EP left.
All right, burn it.
Yeah.
Or take the fall.
No, I'll burn the EP.
All right, you land right on the edge and almost slip back in. Then you land on the other side. You immediately begin running to the Darrow to ask how you can help. They're like, it's coming for us. Fizz, high, low, or middle? No, 50-50, odd or even?
Odd.
All right, let's roll it. Okay.
Okay.
You look and you see an enormous beetle-like entity that's mutated with like tentacles coming out of it. It is a mutated Umber Hulk, and it's just tearing through the Darrow as they're trying to run across. Jayne, it comes into view with you. let's roll a d6.
No, not today.
Yes. Jayne, you look and it's two big bug eyes are really weird looking, but it's the two little eyes that as you lock with them, you get like an intense headache for a split second, but then you hear the sound of a closing book, just like, and then you're clear, you're fine as it runs past you. Fizz, let's roll a what was that? It was a 4 that beats you by 2. So Fizz, you are confused. You are stupefied as you look into the eyes of this thing. It leaps over the pool, and it stands before you, and then it just grabs you and then like runs into the wall itself and begins digging a cavernous tunnel through the hole with you in it. Jayne, you turn back around and because you call for Bubbles. Meanwhile, Bubbles is talking to his father. So this is all we're going like back in time is what we're doing right now. So Thenacel stands up and he like looks at his one arm and then he looks at you and he's like, you are not supposed to suffer like this.
Okay. And how am I supposed to suffer?
You're not. You're supposed to inherit this world and rule it.
You mean this world?
This entire sphere, this plane of existence is your dominion. I rallied an army of hell to come to rescue you so that I could restore you to your proper place. I don't know why your mother didn't tell you any of your true destiny, but it's quite irksome. As in my observations, it seems like you have been wasting your time just confused and pigeonholed and henpecked and treated like a buffoon when you are supposed to be a god king.
You don't know anything about my proper place because you don't know me. You're not my dad. You didn't raise me. And I don't want to see you anymore. I start to walk away.
Well, that is all true, son, but perhaps I can get to know you. And while I can't raise you, I can show you what it is to be an adult and help you find a place in the world. What's the worst that could happen?
I don't even know if my mom's alive. Did you kill her?
No, she's fine.
Can I see her?
Conditionally. You see, son, when you deal with demons and devils, they'll give you whatever you want on a condition. So I will allow you to see your mother as much as you want. But you have to come back to hell with me.
Okay.
All right, he extends out his remaining hand. Let's shake on it. And just as your hand touches his, you hear Jayne shout, Bubbles, and you are teleported to hell. Jayne, you see Bubbles burst into flame and disappear as the Darrow continue to run past you, kind of tripping you. You look back up and you can't see Fizz. And the mutagen is the only ambient light sickly illuminating this dark cavern as we close this chapter. Wow, what a dark and dangerous adventure we had today. Thank you very much for joining us. If you made it all the way to the end, we would love for you to subscribe, follow, all of those things. Please do that. What's going to happen next? Is Jayne going to continue to grow in power? Is Fizz going to become king of the Umber Hulks? And is Bubbles going to finally resolve his daddy issues? These mysteries and more to be uncovered next time on Hazards and Hijinks. Wow. Thank you so very much Follow us on our social medias to help us build this adventures. I don't know about you, but I had a lot of fun with the plot twist. I thought they were really, really cool, and I will definitely be using them again. If you liked them, let us know on our social medias. Hit us up. Let us know. Let us know what you want to see next. We'll be posting tomorrow what we're going to be throwing at our cool adventurers next week. But I'm not going to end on a plug. No. I'm going to end the show as we always do with a hearty huzzah. And please feel free to join in with us. 3, 2, 1, huzzah! Oh, buddy boy. Oh. I thought the horror ended last month. We weren't supposed to have horror shows.
This is fun. I like it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Getting spicy.
I really Cronenberged it up this time.
You really
Jayne's
did.
Really thirsty. Probably too thirsty. Maybe like I should dial back the thirsty.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we could roll the thirsty back just a little bit, but I mean, like, you're a teenager. Teenagers need to figure it out.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Can't believe Jayne turned 16 and immediately started trying to peer pressure me into doing drugs.
Well, in fairness, Jayne hasn't had Jayne's had nothing but bad influences. What would you expect for someone raised by the cool adventurers?
That's so funny.
Bye, everybody.
We unintentionally had a Dare to Keep Kids Off Drugs episode. I didn't even think about that.